If you're stressed out because you have a bad memory, I'm going to give you ways to improve your memory with these good habits. The first way to improve your memory with a good habit is getting enough sleep. You've heard it said a million times, but it's so true. Without a good night's sleep, you're not going to be able to remember the next day. So get at least 8 hours of sleep. That 6 to 8 hours window is one of the most crucial areas of sleep. It's the REM sleep. And if you don't get that, you're not going to remember what you learned during the day, and you're not going to be prepared for the next day in terms of your memory. And the next step is to drink plenty of water. A dehydrated brain is a brain that won't be able to focus. So that's why drinking plenty of water is so important. The next one is exercise. A 2014 Harvard Health letter said that exercise helps the memory in both direct and indirect ways. It helps directly because exercise reduces inflammation, and that helps your brain, and it stimulates the growth of new blood cells in the brain. And indirectly, exercise is going to help your memory because it's going to help you sleep better, and also it's going to help reduce your stress and anxiety, and that's going to really help your memory. Now, salt plays an important part of your memory. A lack of salt is actually going to hurt your memory. In the brain, salt is used as a stimulant to encourage the brain to create new memories. So when salt is restricted, it can actually hurt your short-term memory. Now, not to stress you out, but if you go overboard and have too much salt, that is bad for your memory, and it has even been linked to Alzheimer's disease. Speaking of stress, that leads to our next habit to improve your memory. Stress is without question the worst enemy to your memory. Think about a time in your life when you were stressed out or you were going through a stressful period in your life. Your memory was probably horrible. So, to reduce your stress, some people meditate, some people just close their eyes and just exhale and clear their mind and have a quiet time. Sometimes in a week before the World Memory Championship, I would get 5 massages just to stay relaxed. Stress is the worst enemy to your memory. Moving on, avoid excessive sugar. The hippocampus is a part of your brain that is very sensitive to sugar. The hippocampus plays an important part in learning, memory, and your long-term memory. It even plays a role in Alzheimer's disease and depression. So avoid excessive sugar for a better memory. All right, the next one is a no-brainer, all right? Pun intended. Avoid excessive alcohol. For scientific reasons only, I have taken alcohol and tried to memorize at the same time. I don't have to tell you the results. You know the results. It's going to hurt your memory in the current short-term memory, but it also has very damaging effects in your long-term memory over time. Avoid excessive alcohol. Now, with that said, our next point is studies have been shown that small amounts of alcohol and maybe having a glass of wine a day is actually good for your memory. So go have some alcohol in moderation to improve your memory, and you can thank me. Now, this next one is important. How many times have you been introduced to somebody and then 6 weeks later you meet them and what do you say? Oh, I am so good with faces. I never forget a face. I just can't think of your name. Why? Because you saw the face, you never saw the name. The mind remembers what it sees. So if you want to start remembering stuff, you have to be able to turn it into a picture, and you have to be able to see it. When you hear the number 21, no longer think of the number 21. Think of a deck of cards for the game blackjack. Whenever you hear the name Steve, no longer think of the name Steve. Think of a stove and imagine you were cooking Steve. Whatever you want to remember, turn it into a picture, and your brain is going to remember it much more. You remember what you see more than what you just hear. Now, this last one is my favorite way to improve your memory, the habit of using the mind Palace. The Mind Palace is essentially when you memorize a map of a house, you stand in the doorway of the room in your house and you count 5 pieces of furniture in that room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go to the next room and you count 5 pieces of furniture in that room. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You do this in each room of your house until you have 20, 30, 40, or 50 pieces of furniture memorized. Then you take whatever you want to memorize and you imagine it around pieces of furniture in the Mind Palace. If the first word you want to memorize is a washing machine for George Washington, then you imagine a wash machine on your first piece of furniture. If the second word you want to memorize is the second president, Adams, you see a dam. You turn it into a picture and you see it on the second piece of furniture in your Mind Palace. The Mind Palace is without question my favorite way to improve your memory technique. Click the link right here and you'll get more free training on this Mind Palace method. So click the link here, enter your email address to get more free training on the Mind Palace method, or you can click the link below down in the description. So go on guys, get your free training so that you can memorize anything you want the easy way. Get plenty of that. And step number 2 is to drink plenty of water. Okay, all right. Drink plenty of water. For scientific reasons only, I have done 14 shots of vodka.